on love, sex and relationships, we are showcasing Personalabs HIV testing. See, because this is something which a lot of folks ignore, and yet at the same time the results can sometimes be rather deadly. So that's something which you definitely want to avoid, and under such circumstances, anytime you have unprotected sex, it's better to be safe than sorry and go in for these kind of HIV tests. Now in that regard, what we've done is we provided the direct link to this very page where you have as many as 6 different tests. You can easily pick and choose the tests which you think would suit your requirement the best in terms of, say, HIV screening test, HIV-1 qualitative, HIV-1 RNA quantitative, CD4 T Cell Count. Each test you can of course know all these details, because it's quite likely that you have no idea, no clue about what these tests are actually implying. Of course, as you go delve deeper, you'll realize that the higher the value of the test, the more the depth to which this test is particularly going. And the value add of this particular video is that you'll get 10% off your order today when you spend $100. So that's something you would definitely not want to miss out on and make the most of. And Personalabs is a name which is recognized very well when it comes to lab testing. It's already celebrated 10 years in this particular realm, and it's very well reputed. So that's something which you can be assured of. And at the same time, as far as these tests are concerned, when you spend, say, beyond this test, any of these other tests, you can avail 10% off them. So that's something you can now always make the most of. Remember that HIV management is critical, and you start off with HIV and then progressively get on to AIDS as and when there's no, you're not detected, and things go from bad to worse. But at the same time, with treatment, there can be proper, but and for that, see, it's essential that you get tested, and you are, and at least the doctors, that's when they can treat you. So they need to know, people need to know, it needs to be known that you are affected by HIV. In fact, the statistics as such are rather scary. Like, as per the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, about 50,000 people get infected with HIV each year, and at this point in time, there are more than 1.2 million people in the US are living with HIV, with 12.8% of them unaware of this infection. That's 1 in 8 people, which is quite scary, So you don't want to be in such a situation. It's always better to be safe than sorry. So the attempt or the aim of this video is to first of all spread the word about the fact that Personalabs has these set of 6 tests for HIV and HIV management. You can in turn pick and choose whichever test you think, or whichever set of tests. You might not necessarily want to go for just one, but maybe multiple tests. Have that peace of mind, especially if you've had unprotected sex, especially say in a very casual environment, maybe with a person whom you absolutely do not know. You never know, maybe you had sex with a commercial sex worker, and somehow in that heat of the moment you ended up having unprotected sex. You might as well be safe than sorry and go in for any of these tests, where, as we mentioned on the link given in the description of this video, you can avail 10% off your order when you spend $100.